Imagine this: in 1969, humans landed on the moon with computers less powerful than a modern calculator. But today, with AI, supercomputers, and reusable rockets, humans still haven't returned to the moon. The last time anyone walked on the lunar surface was during Apollo 17 in 1972. So the question is, why haven't we gone back in more than 50 years? The answer isn't what most people think. The biggest reason is surprisingly simple: money. The entire Apollo program cost about $20 billion in the 1970s, which equals over $100 billion today. At its peak, NASA consumed about 4% of the U.S. federal budget. Today, NASA receives around 0.5% of the budget. In other words, the moon program once had 8 times more funding than today. As scientists explain, sending humans to the moon is incredibly expensive, especially if the goal is to build long-term infrastructure like habitats and life support systems. But money alone wasn't the real reason we went. The moon landing was actually part of a geopolitical battle. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were racing to prove technological dominance. Landing on the moon was essentially a symbolic victory. Once America won the race, the urgency disappeared. Scientists note that the lunar missions lost political momentum once the space race ended, which led to Apollo ending after Apollo 17. The mission had served its purpose. Another surprising reason: robots became better explorers. Robotic missions can explore space without risking human lives and cost a fraction of human missions. Scientists found that robotic probes could deliver incredible scientific data without the complexity of human life support systems. That's why many missions shifted toward Mars rovers, deep space probes, space telescopes, instead of sending humans. Ironically, modern technology made moon missions more complicated, not easier. In the 1960s, NASA accepted huge risks to win the space race. Today, safety standards are far stricter. For example, engineers recently discovered issues with spacecraft heat shields and other systems during the Artemis program, causing mission delays. Experts say modern missions require many new technologies working together, which makes them harder to execute safely. But the story isn't over. NASA and other countries are preparing to return. The Artemis program aims to send astronauts back to the moon, and this time, the goal is not just to visit but to stay. Scientists plan to build lunar bases, study water ice at the moon's south pole, and use the moon as a launch point for missions to Mars. Some missions could happen within the next few years, so the real mystery isn't why we stopped going to the moon. It's this: what will we discover when humans finally return after half a century? Because the next moon landing might not just change space exploration, it might change the future of humanity.